Dumelang, ke Manyana Mopedi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is episode 1 of the series, My London Experience. So, the reason why I decided to hop onto this series is because I've been in London for a little just over a year, so it's been like a year and 4 months. And I was hoping that this series could potentially help the next person who wants to make the relocation decision to the United Kingdom. So yeah, this series will mainly focus on my journey of relocating from South Africa to the United Kingdom. I wish I was able to help with regards to relocating to different countries, but I never did that. So yeah, this will focus mainly on relocating from South Africa to the United Kingdom. So this episode will be focusing mainly on what made me get to the decision of making the big move from South Africa to London, and also how I went about that process of preparing to make the big move. And then the next few episodes, what will happen is I'll be discussing what I wish I knew before I made the decision to relocate, as well as how my experience has been like, as well as that of a couple of my friends. And I will also try and cover all the questions that I received from some of you with regards to making this big decision. Okay, so what made me get to a point where I decided that I want to move from South Africa to London? I think if you don't know that, look guys, I just like things, and I yeah, that's how I made the decision initially, or rather what sparked the interest of relocating. Sounds better when I put it that way. Yeah, what sparked that interest of relocating to a different country? So I've seen that a couple of people post qualifying, they get to relocate to the United Kingdom, and most of them always say that they're doing this so that they can be able to travel, so it sounded good to me, and I was like, maybe I can be able to travel, considering that I grew up in a family where, yes, my parents did their level best to give us everything we needed, but we were not that privileged for us to actually do that much traveling, so I was just like, it would actually be quite good, great actually, for me to have that opportunity to relocate and travel as much as I want to. Now when I was thinking about it, I was just like, I'll be in the UK, I'll be earning in pounds, so I'll have money to, go wherever I can go now. But little did I know. So yeah, that was what sparked the interest of relocating to a whole new country. And then what happened initially, yes, I did think about it, but I was a little bit skeptical because I'm someone that is very big on family and spending quality time with my family. So for me, I was a bit skeptical because if I relocate, it means I'm gonna go home once or twice a year if I'm pushing it, and I am used to seeing my mom now and then. Yes, I wasn't always based at home. I was based in Midrand at some point, and I was able to go home maybe once or twice a month, and I was able to spend that much time with my family. My siblings and I are quite close, so we saw each other quite often. Not only close with my immediate family, my aunts as well, my cousins, we spend quite a lot of time together. So I was just like, now I have to relocate, have to adjust to not being able to see my family for that long. So it's like, I'm not sure, but I'll just see what's what. So yeah, just to start with the process, what I did was I made sure that my LinkedIn profile was updated immediately after we received our APC results. Made sure that my LinkedIn was updated, that I passed my APC, so that when the recruiters are going through profiles of newly qualified CAs, if I may just put it like that. I wasn't done with my articles though. I was in my 3rd year of completing my training to being a qualified chartered accountant. All right. So normally what happens is during that year, fairly, recruiters will reach out to you and ask, do you want to hop onto the opportunity of traveling abroad, relocating, starting a new job, and all of that. So for me to be able to get in touch with the right people, I just made sure that my LinkedIn profile was updated straight after receiving my APC results. And I did just that. And I think just a couple of weeks later, I received a direct message on LinkedIn from some lady called Get Talent. That is the agency that I used to relocate. That's the recruiting agency that I used for my relocation. And I went through the process, sent them my CV. They sent me the CV template and they told me what I needed to do, and I did just that. Handed in my application and they called me in for an interview. The interview was like just a couple of weeks after as well, and at that time also I hadn't yet decided whether I really want to relocate to the UK or not. So I was like, let me just do this for experience initially. Like, let me see how it goes, and see what's what. So I did just that and then went for the interview. It went well, and then they gave me the contract. And then they told me that I have, I think, just around a week to make my decision. Made my decision, I signed the contract. And now kind of for me to sign the contract, Nick is a show. And then one of my friends, Tando, was like, Chomi Atamai, like, let's do this together. Wabo. It's like, actually, it wouldn't be a bad idea to do this with someone. But when if I had to do it on my own, I probably wouldn't have made that decision to come to London. But signed my contract, and then that was pretty much it. So what happened was, with regards to the costs of relocation, right? What they do is they don't give you the money up front for you to cover for any relocation expenses that you have. What they actually do is it's more like reimbursed. So you have to spend the money first, and then they will reimburse you when you land in the UK. I think it was paid with our first salary. So the cost that I had to incur, it was the visa costs, obviously the flight costs, and then what else did I have to incur? So there's the visa cost, the flight costs, or an accommodation cost when I arrived here. My friend and I, Tando, we were actually quite fortunate. We managed to get permanent accommodation first month, so we didn't stay in like temporary accommodation like your hotels, your Airbnbs in the first month while we were looking for our permanent accommodation. So what we did was we used the Foxtons, I think that's the agent that we used for us to be able to find our accommodation. So we had a chat with them and we told them which accommodation we liked, and we explained to them that, listen, we're still in South Africa, so when it comes to like being able to like view the apartment and won't be able to do it in person, so how about we do it over video? It was a bit risky though, considering that we'd have to pay like your deposits and rent without being sure that the accommodation does exist. But we received videos showing us a tour of the entire apartment. We liked it and we decided that, hey, we're going to take it. And knowing that moving is very, very difficult, what we actually did was we opted for the option of not paying our deposit. We went for, what is this called? I forgot what it's called, but what happens is they give you the option of either paying the deposit or only paying like a small fee to secure the apartment. And I think our one was around £350. Yeah, that's how much we paid to secure our apartment, and then we also paid our first month's rent. So that was actually a better way of going about it, because if we had to look for temporary accommodation, it would have meant that we'd get here, move from hotel to hotel, trying to find a reasonable one until we actually managed to settle in. And it worked in our favor, because now it means that in our relocation expenses that were reimbursed to us, they low-key covered our first month's rent, so we didn't pay anything. So that was nice. And then the only part that you have to also look at is that obviously your reimbursed amounts are kept, so you have to try and like by all means spend within that limit so that your move doesn't necessarily cost anything at the end of the day. And how I funded my move, yeah, I knew that my family wasn't going to be able to like just give me like 100K back, you know, for me to be able to move. So what I did is, one, I sold my car, which is great because I managed to sell it at a profit of 50 something thousand rands. Yeah, that was a profit from the sale of my car. And then what I also did is I spoke to my banker. I'm with Investec. I spoke to my bank and I just asked them to like increase my overdraft facility and make it like short term, because really the moment the amount is paid, it was going to close down the overdraft. So yeah, I think that is what I did. That is how I funded my move to London. And I wasn't really sure also how much I was going to actually need in the first month of being here, because I wasn't aware of the cost of living, moving around, you know, and all of that. So it was more of just making sure that I have enough money just so when I get here, I can at least be able to get by the first month. And the good decision that we made was that we got a furnished apartment that we're renting out right now. And the only thing that we had to buy literally was like your kitchen stuff, like your plates, your spoons, the pot, and then TV. We only bought it like the next month or 2 months later, because without TV in the house, you know, we only bought things which we knew we really needed in the first month for us to be able to get by. And then when it comes to choosing the location, what we did was, my friend is based in the London office, I'm based in the Gatwick office. So we were just like, let's find a place that is like central for the both of us, just so we can be able to like both get to the office and it's not like long distance travel. And we spoke to a couple of people actually via LinkedIn. We got connected through friends, so we can ask people that were here already, where do they think it is reasonable for us to actually find a place to stay, considering that we're like based in 2 different offices, you know. Yeah, so that is how we actually went about it. Yeah, truly speaking, I went ahead with the decision because it's just like, there's nothing for me to lose anyways, you know. Let me just go ahead with it. It is for experience. Nakhona, based on how my journey went, writing the board exam, I didn't pass my ITC first time, so I wrote my ITC and then I had to hop onto APC. Luckily I passed my APC first time. I was just like, I've never really had audit experience, so let me just take this opportunity, have that audit experience, and check it travel, and you know, I won't die. Let me just try it out and see how audit is like in a different country. And hopefully audit is audit everywhere, but we'll cover that like in other episodes. So yeah, briefly, that is just how I went about my decision to move to the United Kingdom and how I actually carried it out. So in the next few episodes, I will be addressing the questions that you guys have asked me, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video. And I will also share my personal experiences, and I will try and convince my friends to also agree to share their personal experiences, just so we can be able to like in a way give you an idea of how it is like being on the side on a like personal level, and also being as honest as we can be with you guys, so that when you make this big move, you know that you're making an informed decision, knowing what's what and knowing what you're getting yourself into. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next episode soon. Cheers, bye.